When I was about 26 years old, I started really coming home to my body in the sense that I was really disconnected from my body, in that I was, when I was around 26 years old, I started running. I started running while I was living in a sober housing project in St. Paul, Minneapolis, where people who had been through treatment for mental health issues and addictions, they were in kind of transitional housing where the entire house, no one was drinking, no one was using, none of the things, as a way to support our further healing and recovery. And it was there that I started running. I started running almost every single day, took a couple of breaks during the week, but every single day I would run along Summit Avenue in St. Paul, Minnesota. And I'd run past all these different mansions that were on Summit Avenue, these incredible luxury houses that were old but beautiful and deeply soulful. And this was a time where I really started feeling my own self. I started feeling the capacity I had to run faster and to run harder and to run further and to be in my body and sense that I could build my capacity to do difficult things. This was really important for my healing because up until then, I'd been through so many different roller coasters of sobriety, not sobriety, mental health issues, not liking myself, feeling so disconnected, that this time when I started running was when I really started understanding that there was something more to me. I ended up doing half marathons, several of them. And that was where I really started, okay, wow, there's really something more here. I can do difficult things. I can do things that I didn't know I was capable of. And it was in that process of really starting to feel my physical strength and power and my capacity to do difficult things that I realized that not only could I do things physically hard with my body, I could also do emotionally difficult things. I could start posting my journey online and be in my expression and show my journey and be of service to other people on their journey and their mental health recovery journey and their own coming home to their body and building strength and taking care of their health, even when they had struggled with difficult mental health issues. And it was through that I started moving more and more into these different spaces of self-development and potential and healing. And, while at the time I was studying psychology, it was through leaving my psychology degree and becoming a personal trainer that I realized that was where my deeper healing was supposed to happen. That was going to be my path of becoming a personal trainer, where I would be able to support people on their journey of expanding their strength and helping them realize that they are so much more powerful than they might have thought they were, helping just anyone who, regardless of what background they had or what their bodies were capable of, that we could always build strength, we could always build more mobility, we could always kind of grow in some sense. And that was so inspiring to me, not only for me to go through my own journey of that and knowing where I came from, but then also being able to translate that and to be of service to other people on their own journey of strength and knowing that they have so much more to them than they maybe thought they did. And this led me further into the path of embodiment and coming home to my soul in a deeper sense, because while I was training very hard and I was training other people and I was very much in my strength and my kind of power, I also started realizing that there is even more there to expand into and to learn in that emotional awareness and to go into healing, because healing was where I started knowing more of my feminine essence, the part of me that is more sensual and vulnerable, and the emotions that I had very much repressed throughout my life, which is why I ended up the way I ended up in, treatment for different mental health issues. That the healing, the trauma healing, was what would lead me deeper into understanding my emotions and building my nervous system understanding and my nervous system capacity to hold difficult emotions and to recognize where my different kind of inner both nervous system responses were coming from, like my inner criticism or my self-doubt or my perfectionism or my inability to take a break. These were just responses from my path that I needed to also integrate and work with more through a feminine sense of being, where I made more space for my healing and my vulnerability and my inner child and my joy and my sensuality and my sexuality. All those things became a part of also the expansion that I'd taken on of going into building my strength and more kind of my goal-oriented, purpose-driven strength training journey that I was also taking people on. And it's through this like mix of different ways of expanding and getting to know myself and getting to discover myself deeper that I've also integrated so many different aspects that aid me on my process of kind of stepping more into my potential. And knowing that I have the capacity to learn pretty much anything. I have the capacity to grow into pretty much anything. And any part of myself that I might really be struggling with, they are parts of me that just need help, and they need healing, and they need understanding, and they need compassion. And I say all of this to say that it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what you've been through. If you've been through really horrible things in your past, I'm going to sneeze, I think. If you've been through difficult things in your path, horrible stuff even, there's hope for you. There's growth for you. There's learning for you. There is the safety there. There's safety there to be cultivated within you in so many different aspects, whether it's doing it through somatic awareness practices and feeling safety in your body and feeling safe with your emotions, or it's expanding your potential and your growth and your strength through strength training and taking care of your health, starting to run, starting to do things that you didn't do before, maybe when you were not doing well, and coming home to integrating all parts of yourself or more parts of yourself that allow you to know that you are safe and your wholeness is welcome. Every part of you is welcome. And that process takes effort. It's difficult. It's not easy. It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. And it's through that we also discover that needs compassion, and that deserves compassion, and it deserves time and patience and space for it to be exactly as it is, and our journey to be exactly as it is. The core thing here, I feel, that I really want to say is that it's about really trusting and committing and devoting yourself to your higher self, in the sense that there's so much more to you than you could really begin to understand. You have so much capacity to grow and to build strength and to build deeper vulnerability within yourself, deeper capacity to meet yourself, and know that there's so much within you that gets to be met and gets to be held, nurtured, and then expanded from, grown from. And I just wish that, I can see so much potential in so many people, and that's also not, you have to meet yourself where you're at in the present moment. But then through that, knowing that there's so much more for you as well. So I hope that this video was some sort of inspiration for you to recognize that whatever you're in, whatever situation you're in your life, you can do so much. And even if you feel like you can't, That is a part of yourself that needs space and needs nurturance and needs time to be exactly as it is. And there is no rush. There is no push or force. It's just coming home to your power and your ability to do difficult things and trusting that you can, and to continue on that path, coming home to yourself.